can never forget the one mystery that mesmerizes you.
I love the bed.
One case you can't turn away from.
2 people went on a trip, 1 person returned.
One life taken too soon.
She's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful soul inside and out.
One person of interest.
Brian needs to talk now, and by now he needs to talk yesterday. And like by yesterday, I mean he should have talked September 1st.
One clue that could change everything.
I don't know, we just been fighting all morning.
Tonight, inside the Gabby Petito case. 1 hour of in-depth coverage from our team of journalists.
We're up over Carlton Reserve right now.
Across the country.
What do Mr. and Mrs. Laundrie know?
Answering your questions.
I'm still curious about how the parents were so easily able to find the Mustang.
Why are they still searching the Carlton Reserve?
And interviews you'll only see here. A special edition of NewsNation Prime starts right now.
Live from the NewsNation studios in Chicago, this is NewsNation Prime with Marnie Hughes.
And good evening. Tonight, we bring you a NewsNation special report, the Gabby Petito case. I'm Marnie Hughes. And for the next hour, we are going to dive into this mystery that has captivated the nation. Tonight, the search for Brian Laundrie has now turned into a manhunt. A federal arrest warrant has been issued for Brian in connection to the death of Gabby Petito, a young woman, 22 years old, on the road trip of a lifetime with her fiancé, documenting their travels on social media when their journey took a puzzling turn. Brian returns home, and Gabby does not. We now know Gabby was killed, and the missing persons case becomes a homicide investigation. Brian has vanished. His family is still not talking, and the search for him zeroed in on that muddy swamp in Florida. All of this unfolding as a group of citizen detectives scour the digital trail for clues into what happened. Tonight, we're going to lean in with new information about this case. Our correspondent, Brian Enton, who has been on the story since the very beginning. Also tonight, you're going to hear from our colleague, Ashley Banfield, a Petito family friend, and experts breaking down each and every detail, leaving no stone unturned. We also want to hear from you tonight. Our NewsNation crew is standing by right now in the control room and out in the field to answer the many questions you have about this ongoing case. Things that you have wondered about and details that just are not making any sense. We start tonight with Brian Enton live outside the Laundrie family home where he has been staked out for days. And Brian, the major development tonight is this arrest warrant.
Yeah, Marnie, everything changed tonight. This went from a missing persons investigation now to an all-out federal manhunt with that arrest warrant. It happened around 6 o'clock Eastern. The FBI released the arrest warrant and said they are officially looking for Brian Laundrie now, not as a missing person, but as a criminal. The interesting thing, Marnie, is this arrest warrant might not be what you expect. They're looking for him on bank fraud charges. They say that at the end of August, he used a debit card that did not belong to him and a PIN code that did not belong to him, and that is what is on the warrant right now. Obviously, that is something they can bring him in on and then question him further once they get him in cuffs.
A major piece of information, Brian. In addition, new today, there has been some activity that we haven't seen at the Laundrie home. What can you tell us?
Another surprise came this morning. Yes, you mentioned it, Marnie, at the Laundrie home. We've been out here for days. The parents basically don't leave. Bright and early this morning, they got in this red pickup truck and they left the house. They came back a short time later with this silver Mustang. The mom was driving the Mustang. We know that's a car in the past that Brian has been driving. But then it got really interesting. The mom got back into the pickup truck with the dad, and they drove to Orlando, according to their attorney. Their attorney says he flew in from New York. They met in Orlando for a meeting, and then the parents came back here to the house. That's when we ran over and tried to get some questions in.
Mr. Laundrie, where's your son? Do you know anything about what happened to Gabby Petito? Why aren't you talking? Why aren't you out looking for your son?
So no surprise there, they didn't answer any of my questions, but what did sort of surprise me, Marnie, is just how calm they were. very calmly getting out of the car while you have all of these reporters shouting at you, and they just went back inside the house where they are tonight.
And still no answers, and their son essentially missing, according to them. Brian, so many of the clues in this case may lie in this timeline of events, this digital timeline of both Brian and Gabby's journey across the country. I know investigators are looking hard at that continuing tonight.
Yeah, it's such a mystery, and you really try to piece it together by going through the timeline, and it is constantly changing. It all started when Gabby and Brian went on this road trip several months ago, leaving from New York, going out through the national parks. Looked so good until we saw that body camera video. We want to walk you through everything that's developed.
Never goes outside.
It all started with what appeared to be so much happiness. On July 2nd, 2021, Brian and Gabby leave Blue Point, New York in a converted camper van, the start to their dream road trip to national parks in Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. Their journey takes them to Kansas, Colorado, Utah.
You can't keep chocolate in Utah. Not in July.
So, we are right outside Capitol Reef right now in a free dispersed camp spot.
Then on August 12th, signs there's trouble on the trip. The couple gets into a fight in Moab, Utah. Police are called.
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
Body camera video shows Gabby in tears.
We just been fighting all morning and
You see, this gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her.
Laundrie tells police that traveling together has created an emotional strain between them. They're separated for the night. No charges are filed. 7 days later, August 19th, an 8-minute YouTube video about Gabby and Brian's cross-country trip is posted to their account, Nomadic Static.
Hello, hello, and good morning. Brian's stretching, doing some morning yoga.
On August 21st, Gabby's father, Joe Petito, FaceTimes with his daughter. She says she's in Salt Lake City. He notices no red flags. August 25th, Gabby's final Instagram post from Ogden, Utah, about 40 miles north of Salt Lake. No location listed, just this caption, Happy Halloween. That day is also the last day Gabby's family says they heard from her. A phone call saying she was in Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. Then there are 2 texts a few days later that her mom finds strange and doesn't believe were actually written by Gabby. September 1st, Brian returns to Northport, Florida alone with the van to the house he shared with his parents and Gabby. But Gabby's not with him and is not reported missing until 10 days later. When police go to the Laundrie home, the parents give them the name of a New York attorney for any questions. That same day, Northport police tow the van, which is registered to Gabby for forensic examination. For days, police say they know where Brian is. Until Friday, September 17th, when Brian's parents call police to the house, saying they haven't seen him in 3 days and that he went hiking at a nearby nature reserve on Tuesday, September 14th. Police gather evidence from the house and from the Mustang, items they say to get Brian sent for search dogs. They search the swampy reserve for days, from the air and on the ground. But no sign of Brian. And then the grim discovery on September 19th. Gabby's body is found at a camping area near Grand Teton National Park. Within hours, FBI agents swarmed the Laundrie home, hauling out box after box of evidence. Days more of searching back at the reserve, and dive teams join the efforts. On social media, citizen sleuths are also on the case, one posting video from a wildlife camera some 500 miles to the north. The sheriff there reporting searching turns up no sign of Brian. Now the FBI not offering any details, just saying the hunt continues. And the hunt is definitely on now for Brian Laundrie, and we can officially now call this a manhunt. Marnie?
And let's pick it up there, right there, Brian. Is the search continuing in the swamp tonight? What are investigators telling you?
Absolutely. They were in the Carlton Reserve all day long. Again today, 24,000 acres, thick brush. 75% of that swamp is covered in water. There are alligators and snakes. There were about 75 search crews out there today. They had drones and helicopters over the land looking down. Again, no sign of Brian Laundrie, and they say they'll be back out there again tomorrow.
How about the parents, Brian? Are they under surveillance right now? Where you are there police outside that house?
Well, that's a good question. We know they're in the house because we saw them come back a short time ago. You look out here on the street, all week long there have been Northport police cruisers out here on the road. They suddenly left. It was interesting timing. Right when that arrest warrant came out, the cruisers left, but it's our understanding there are likely undercover FBI agents in this area. We're going to get more into that and take viewer questions coming up in just a couple of minutes, Marnie.
You got that right, Brian. All eyes on that house tonight and what those parents know. Brian Enton, thank you. Well, many believe Finding Brian will offer answers into what happened to Gabby, the young woman at the center of all of this. She is an adventure seeker who will forever be remembered for her big smile, touching the lives of so many who never even met her.
Ask anyone, and they describe Gabby the same way. Full of life.
Always had a smile on her face, happy-go-lucky, just a really bright spirit.
22 years old, Gabby was the oldest of 6. She loved traveling, camping, and hiking.
She really was just a free-spirited minded. She was always happy. She literally lived in the middle of the desert, and she lived in a tent, and she was still always happy.
She was passionate about art and drawing, interior design, and working as a nutritionist, before leaving it all for the road trip of a lifetime. Her father says Gabby touched the world, her legacy being remembered in every single teal ribbon, from New York to Utah, a color chosen by her mom because it reminds her of Gabby's eyes. A young woman full of life, continuing to light up the world, even in her death.
You don't even have to have children to be touched by this.
And heartbreaking to see some of those images of Gabby smiling and laughing. Joining us live tonight is Maya Posley. She is a longtime family friend of the Petito family. Maya, this is an incredibly difficult time for you all. We thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for keeping Gabby's story out there. I know that the family really appreciates it. It's especially important now because the evil one, I refuse to say his name, needs to be caught and brought to justice.
Let me ask you about that. The arrest warrant for Brian is a major development in this case tonight. How does that news land with you and with the family?
I mean, at first I was like, the audacity that he had the nerve to go in and use her credit card. But you know what? You know what that bought him? That $1,000 bought him a federal arrest warrant. So, well worth it then.
Do you think he's out there watching what's happening?
I mean, I doubt that he's using any cell phones. So, but I mean, you know, obviously there's no proof, but I think it seems obvious to the world that his parents were aiding and abetting. I think that will probably come out in the future. I mean, what kind of parent does not bring their son in, doesn't call the Petitos or Nicole? And it's about as evil as it gets.
What do you know about the Laundrie family and about Brian and Gabby's relationship?
You know, I don't know that much. I know that they went to high school together, that I guess it was a false sense of security with the families and with her, thinking that, you know, she's known him forever. And, you know, it turns out that he was super abusive. You know, I will say this. I feel like I truly believe that Gabby's story will continue to bring awareness to people that are currently in abusive relationships, because so often there's so many signs that are just fuzzy, and abusers are really good at making you feel like you're the crazy one. And also police enforcement too. I mean, they really dropped the ball on that.
Maya, so many people who have been watching this case and Gabby's videos on social media feel as though they know her, that they were a part of this journey, that they went along for the ride. You knew Gabby well, you're close to the family. Can you share with us a memory of Gabby and who she was that now you are treasuring?
I mean, her smile is unforgettable. Her smile would light up any room, and I mean, her smile lit up the entire world. Everybody fell in love with her. It's hard not to.
What did she love?
Just to see such a beautiful... Well, she was an artist. I mean, a true artist. I was calling my little flower child. She would love to draw. I believe that she wrote as well. And she was just so carefree and always smiling. She loved her siblings. She never complained if, you know, her mom would ask her to babysit. I mean, she was so easy to fall in love with, which is why the world has really taken to this whole story.
It's heartbreaking. It's
tragic.
Absolutely heartbreaking. And I think
Yeah.
many of us see our own children in Gabby's, vibrant smile and, just zest for life. How is the family planning to remember her and to honor her in the days, weeks, months, and years still to come?
I'm sure that there will be a yearly memorial. It's like I said, I truly believe that her story will help bring awareness to domestic abuse. I mean, in such a dark, dark situation, any tiny little bit of light that you can grab onto, that way it wasn't all in vain. But man, I can't even imagine the incredible grief that her family is feeling. The whole world is crying, but it's just tragic. And he is evil. He needs to be brought to justice. Evil extinguished one of the brightest lights on this planet.
Gabby Petito taken too soon. Maya, we thank you for joining us again tonight, and please pass along our best to Gabby's family.
I absolutely will. Thank you for keeping her story out there.
Of course. Still ahead here on this NewsNation special report, Gabby's story galvanizing an online community, citizen detectives and social media sleuths combing through every inch of the case. What that trail of clues reveals tonight and how it is helping authorities in the manhunt for Brian.
And this is all still so much a mystery. There's so much that we don't know and we don't understand. Hundreds of you sent me your questions today. We're going to answer them. We've got a former FBI agent who's going to join me live outside the house. That's coming up.
More now of our special report tonight. When Gabby Petito left on her road trip, she invited the world to tag along through her social media and YouTube channel. But when she vanished, some people took the case into their own hands and became digital detectives, scouring social media for clues, hoping to unpack the mystery in real time. Here is NewsNation correspondent Mchugh.
So everybody stop scrolling and pay attention to this poster. There's a missing person named Gabby Petito.
Gabby Petito's story became a national sensation seemingly overnight, and with that, it emboldened an army of social media sleuths.
Pause this, screenshot it, share this.
The hashtag Gabby Petito viewed over 867 million times on TikTok alone. 28-year-old comedian and TikToker Paris Campbell.
So I'm a new mother. I saw an interview with Gabby's mother crying, begging for people to help bring her daughter home. It just resonated with me. My main intent was always to assist in trying to help find Gabby.
She posted this photo, and it's the last photo that's been posted on her Instagram, but the caption is not like her normal captions. It said Happy Halloween with 2 emojis, and that's it.
24-year-old TikToker Haley Tumayan works in data analytics by day.
My goal is to share as many as I can, because you just never know who's going to see the video and who might know something.
Millions poured over the various social media posts, dissecting threads and theories.
Typically, her captions were a lot deeper, detailing her travels, tagging the location, and this photo didn't do it. Her family does not think that Gabby posted this photo.
They were posting all these photos together. This is them on their road trip. But then all the pictures after that are just him alone.
Body cam footage surfaced in Utah after an apparent domestic abuse incident between Petito and Laundrie, days before she was last heard from.
What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm sorry, we've just been fighting this morning.
I saw myself a lot in what was being reported about Gabby. You know, we're similar age, we're both engaged to be married, we're both YouTubers, and starting to see that she was possibly in a toxic relationship, which I've had experience with in the past. It just really drew me to her.
And then, after weeks of mystery, a break in the case online. YouTubers Jen and Kyle Bethune, reviewing video they had shot in Grand Teton on August 27th, noticed a white van matching the van Petito and Laundrie traveled in on the side of the road.
But here it is on the left. Kind of freaky for a late Saturday evening.
Turns out it was. They gave the footage to the FBI, who closed the area to the public. Days later, they found Gabby's body.
Earlier today, human remains were discovered, consistent with the description of Gabby Petito.
But for the online community, the search for Brian Laundrie and for justice continues.
Hi, my name is Miranda Baker, and on August 29th, my boyfriend and I picked up Brian at Grand Teton National Park at 5:30 at night at Coulter Bay. I'm hoping this can help someone identify him because I saw him from TikTok, which then made me call the authorities.
That video of their van in the park, former Marine and self-described audio-video nerd Brett Shavnor says he took the raw video and believes you can see the door to the van actually closing.
And when I zoomed in with the 4K video, it was clear as day to me on a large monitor that door looked to be closing. I got chills up my spine when I saw that happen. I posted that to Twitter instantly to see if anybody else saw the same thing.
Social media videos and information flooding regarding this Gabby Petito case is actually very helpful.
Michael Alcazar spent 30 years as an NYPD investigator.
Everyone, all the civilians, like they helped find Gabby, they're looking for Brian, right? They're looking for Laundrie. There's like Bigfoot sightings of Laundrie right now. Everyone's handing in images, grainy images.
There's something really powerful about a large group of people trying to get the same message across and a large group of people being focused on a single topic. And I think that the natural outcome from that would be some sort of progress.
If I can make a difference, then it's worth it.
Now, these internet sleuths we spoke with say they've been absolutely besieged with information, calls and texts and messages all night long, every 5 minutes of every day this past week, and yet they say they're going to continue. It's wild, Marnie. You know, our generation, we would go to the police or the FBI with a tip, but this generation, they turn to social media, and like it or not, this is a trend that's here to stay.
Well, and so much of the critical evidence lies in this digital trail that both Gabby and Brian left behind, that people do feel invested, Rich, in their journey and in justice for Gabby, ultimately, and they're not going to give up. There's a lot of people who care a lot about this case and about what happens next. Let's bring in Brian Enton now. And Brian, you have experienced firsthand the social media impact in your own reporting day to day, people following what you're doing and what you're putting out.
Yeah, we're seeing it every single day, people helping to solve this case. Every morning when I wake up and I look at my phone and I open Twitter, I literally have thousands of notifications of things that people have discovered online or in trail cams or in surveillance video from all over the country trying to help solve this. Perhaps the biggest example of this, which Rich mentioned in his piece, is the Red, White, and Bethune family. They were in Teton National Park at the end of August. They happened to have a dash cam on. They happened to see the van. They didn't even think anything of it. Last weekend, they're going through their video. They see the van again. They alert the FBI. Next thing you know, they discovered Gabby's body. So it's absolutely incredible that it's just people at home, regular people, that are helping solve all of this.
And if it was not for regular people paying attention, they may still be out there looking for Gabby tonight. Rich Mchugh and Brian Enton, thank you both. So many pieces to this puzzle. The van, the Mustang, the Florida Reserve. Next on NewsNation Prime, Brian is working through this investigation from Florida with a former FBI agent. Where should authorities be looking for Brian, if not in this swamp? And we're asking your questions as well, right after this. Thank you again for joining us. You are watching a special edition of NewsNation Prime tonight, the Gabby Petito case. I'm Marnie Hughes. The search for Brian Laundrie has now turned into a manhunt. It is a major development in this case that has left so many people puzzled and wanting more information. For the entire hour, we are digging into this mystery, searching for those answers, elusive to date, and playing your questions right here. We want to go back out now to correspondent Brian Enton outside the Laundrie family home with former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer. Brian.
Yeah, we've got Jennifer with us right now. Thank you so much for being here and coming outside the home with us. I know you were a special agent for 3 decades, most of that time with the FBI. The first question I have for you, we know there is now this manhunt, this federal arrest warrant for bank fraud. What do you make of that? Is that just the start?
Well, interestingly, when crimes happen, they commit smaller crimes usually along the way. And in this case, he had unauthorized access of the device, which was basically using her credit card or her debit card, actually. And that is the crime that they were actually able to charge him with.
So did they basically use that crime, if he's alive, to get him in and then try to add more on? Is that sort of how this works?
Absolutely. The FBI has over 200 violations that they can use, that they have, you know, the ability to charge people with. And when you commit a crime of any of those, you're able to be brought in and charged.
Jennifer, they're searching for Brian right now. You worked a lot of these cases, and you've seen all this video. You know this case inside out. What do you make of Brian Laundrie, and do you think he's alive right now?
I think Brian Laundrie is alive. I think that is why a lawyer has been retained. I think that the family and Brian disappeared for 3 days. What did they do in that time? And I think that's an important information for the FBI and local and state law enforcement to be looking at, because I think those are going to lead to where Brian Laundrie is at.
And Jennifer, the parents, Brian Laundrie's parents, they're in the house 20 feet behind us right now. I've been watching them for a week. What do you make of them? And do you think they're worried? Do they have reason to be worried right now? Is the FBI going to come knocking on their door?
Well, let's look at the evidence that's out before us right now. He came home on the 1st, alone, after this trip. They have not cooperated, not provided information. They loaded up and left for 3 days. What did they do? Did they do what it took to conceal Brian's whereabouts right now? I think that is what the evidence is pointing to.
Thank you, Jennifer. I want to go back to Marnie because it's not just my questions. We have a ton of viewer questions. Let's get to those, Marnie.
You're right, Brian. So these are questions from you at home that you have had about this case. Brian, this question is for you. I want to start with this one. This is from Sam, and this is about the Laundrie parents. Take a listen.
Hi, Brian. My question for you is this. At what point in this investigation will the authorities be able to put more pressure on Chris and Roberta Laundrie to talk about what they know? Also, do we know if they're currently under surveillance?
It's a good question. As Jennifer just explained, there's obviously pressure on the Laundries. It's building. You asked about the surveillance. I've been out here. We see a lot of unmarked cars out here, Jennifer. A lot of people who look like they might be federal agents. So it's our assumption there's definitely surveillance going on.
Especially the fact that Brian potentially slipped out within their fingers as they were not watching the house a week ago. All right, Jennifer, this question is for you from Randy tonight on how police have handled this case so far.
Hey, I was just curious about how Brian was able to basically escape. Like, why in such a high-profile case, with him being the only person of interest, did he not have like an FBI agent or like a local police officer watching his every move?
Well, if you look at the timeline, there was not a crime that was committed, really, until a body was found, and then it wasn't confirmed to be a homicide until 2 days after that, once the coroner's report was reached. So you cannot conduct surveillance and spend that type of a manpower when a crime hasn't even been committed yet.
A lot of people questioning the police work tonight. This question is from Corey, and Brian, this one is for you about the search currently happening at the reserve.
The Carlton Reserve website states that they've had trail cams since 2006 and that 10 are currently operational. I'm just wondering if there's been any discussion with law enforcement about the utility or the existence of these trail cams.
Another really good question. We know the trail cams are out there. What was so interesting yesterday when we were at the reserve, this massive Verizon wireless truck showed up, went into the reserve with a satellite dish. Many people are wondering, are they setting up more Wi-Fi trail cams in the reserve that need the Wi-Fi and the cell service that doesn't exist out there? So for sure, there are definitely trail cams.
And what they provide is yet to be seen. Jennifer, this question comes from Gil, also on the search at the reserve tonight. Take a listen.
Is there any reason the FBI isn't
isn't resuming the search at night with infrared technology looking for bodies of heat?
Well, first of all, I think that's making the assumption that that is not happening. We don't know if the drones and so forth that they're using, are they actually using those sophisticated techniques right now? Secondly, let's consider where the initial evidence came from that Brian was at this reserve. It came from Brian. He passed it on to his family. His family then passed it on to law enforcement. And they had to go and do their due diligence at following up on that, but they're also considering where the source of that information was from. And remember, they're not just conducting that investigation, they are simultaneously going down all the other avenues to help get them to Brian.
A question now for you, Brian, from Kelsey. This is on the evidence collected at the Laundrie home in the last week.
Hey Brian, my name is Kelsey. I'm from Port Orange, Florida. My question for you today is the search that was conducted at the Laundrie family residence on Monday, September 20th. When should we be expecting to hear what, if anything, came of that search? I know it was a lot of digital, hard drives, etc. that they were looking into, lots of boxes of evidence. Is there any timeline on if or when they will release that information to the public?
So she mentioned that digital hard drive. Let me clarify. That actually came from Gabby's van. We know they're going through that now. As for all of the boxes of evidence, they came right through this garage that you see behind us right here. Box after box after box. I'm sure they're going through it now. Jennifer would probably have a better idea. I mean, it takes them quite some time, I'm sure.
Yeah, they are pouring through all of that evidence with a fine-tooth comb. They're looking for indicia of a crime. They're looking for DNA evidence. They're looking for any evidence that could point to what happened to Gabby.
A complicated case. Brian Enton and Jennifer Coffendoffer, thank you both for answering some of those viewer questions tonight. And this investigation ongoing. If you have any information that could help solve this case, call the number on your screen. This is the FBI hotline, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Brian Laundrie seemingly slipped through police's fingers. Next on NewsNation Prime, did law enforcement make mistakes along the way? Callahan Walsh, the co-host behind In Pursuit, joining us next here on the special report on NewsNation Prime. A father-son duo has made it their mission to find someone who doesn't necessarily want to be found. In this case, it is Brian Laundrie, the man with a warrant out for his arrest in connection to the death of Gabby Petito. Callahan Walsh and his father, John Walsh, are best known for their show In Pursuit, and Callahan is joining us now, and he has been closely watching the Gabby Petito case and the search for Brian Laundrie unfold, as all of us have. Callahan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the criticism that police are receiving for their police work to date and how they're handling this case and what you think they should be doing differently.
You know, some of the criticism is warranted, some of it isn't. You know, I think we can look back at some of those early interactions that both Brian and Gabby had with law enforcement back in Wyoming. You know, I think law enforcement on the ground did things okay, but I think the lack of information that they received, because there were 911 calls that stated Brian was seen abusing Gabby, and at the time those law enforcement officers didn't have that. I think there's been some other mistakes made across the way. Brian slipping out of his parents' house. Of course, it's easy to look back in hindsight with 20/20 vision, but oftentimes that's just what happens in a fluid investigation. We don't have a crystal ball. Law enforcement can't predict criminals' next moves. If they would, these fugitives would be behind bars right away. So, you know, that's just the way a lot of these investigations go. I like this to be a learning moment, a teachable moment for law enforcement, make sure these mistakes don't happen in the future, but they often do, unfortunately.
And the search continues. Callahan, you live and breathe these types of cases all over the country. Gabby's case has caught the nation's attention, but it certainly is not unique. There are many missing people. What is it about this case, though, that has struck such a chord and has so much attention?
Well, I think there's a lot to this case that really made it ripe for the picking as far as why America is sinking their teeth into it. First off, Gabby and Brian were avid social media users and posting constantly. So there's a mountain of historical data to dig into. So every armchair detective and internet sleuth out there has a treasure trove to look through. Law enforcement, and credit to them, has been pretty forthcoming with some of the steps that they've been taking in part of the investigation, which allows media and, again, these armchair detectives to continue going over what the newest and latest thing is coming from law enforcement. Lastly, I think a lot of people in America see themselves, see a daughter, a relative in Gabby. And that's why their heart goes out for her. They see her as a young, innocent girl who deserves justice. Her family is looking for those answers, and we hope there's somebody out there that can provide that.
Finally, Callahan, I think about Gabby's family tonight as they grieve the loss of their daughter, and they also seek answers and some sort of closure. You and your family have experienced that type of pain and that type of loss. How important is it to ultimately get those answers and have some closure and, in the end, justice for Gabby, for these families?
It is so important. It's so important to get justice. We waited 27 years in my family to get justice for my brother Adam's murder from back in 1981 when he was abducted in South Florida. And we know what that's like, to go through that, to not get the justice and looking for those answers. Justice doesn't necessarily bring closure. Nothing will bring your loved one back. But it does end that chapter and allows you to begin a new one. And justice does provide answers and allows people to really understand what's happened to them and make sure that they can continue to live somewhat of a good life knowing justice has been served. And that's why we need it so bad for the Petito family.
Callahan Walsh, thank you for the work you're doing, not only to shine a light on Gabby's case, but on so many others across the country. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has helped law enforcement find more than 355,000 missing children over the years. 355,000. If you have a tip, make sure you call 1-800-THE-LOST or you visit cybertipline.org. You can play a role in bringing these people home. The FBI puts the pressure tonight on Brian Laundrie, but what about his parents? Ashley Banfield standing by with her take on the couple that everyone is talking about tonight, the Laundries. Next. Thank you for joining us for this special report tonight, the case of Gabby Petito. So much of all of this focuses on one person right now, and that is Brian Laundrie. He is now a wanted man. The FBI issuing that arrest warrant for him this afternoon. But the microscope is not only on him, it is also on his parents tonight. We want to bring in NewsNation's Ashley Banfield. Ashley, this warrant takes this case into new territory. Why is it important? How significant is it? And does it change anything?
Oh, does it? Holy cow. Yeah, he is now a fugitive, which means every single law enforcement officer across the country can arrest that man, not just one jurisdiction. And it also means anybody who decides that they want to help Mr. Laundrie in his escapades of running is facing 10 years because you can't harbor a fugitive. So it means everything, that now he is on the target federally, right across the country.
And Ashley, you've been on this a long time. In your experience, how often do people stay on the run?
Not long, honestly, Marnie. It's usually a week or two and we find them. In this day and age, with every single digital camera that's out there, every single surveillance camera, everybody with a phone, everyone on social media, I don't think it's going to be very long. This is not going to be an Eric Rudolph unless that man has a lot more camping gear than we think he might have.
Mm-hmm. And the parents, I know you've been watching them closely.
Yeah, I think they could have some exposure here. If it is determined from the many boxes of material that was taken from their home that they helped him get away or that they made this happen and sent a red herring to the officers, well, then they're in a heap of trouble. And that means legal trouble, and that means it's a good thing they have a lawyer.
Ashley Banfield, you've got a lot coming up on your show tonight. I know you're talking to Elizabeth Vargas of America's Most Wanted. Looking forward to what she has to say in this ongoing case. Ashley, as always, thank you.
Thanks, Marnie.
What is it about this case that has the world's attention, and what about others like it? Brian Enton is standing by live again for us. He's going to join us in just a moment, again here on NewsNation Prime. Joining me once again is Brian Enton, live in Florida, outside the Laundrie home. Brian, something that really struck me is the attention being focused right now on the Laundrie parents, Brian's parents. And I'm wondering about their cell phone records. I know they aren't people of interest in this case, but there's a lot of people at home that think they know something. So I'm sure police are looking into potentially their phone records. Were they talking to their son when he was on the trip or when he got back? If those cell phone records indicate anything, do you know anything about what police have shared yet?
So we don't know officially. What's interesting is once the FBI took over this investigation from the Northport police, they really put the clamp down on any kind of details like that. And the cell phone issue is interesting because in the body camera video with Brian and Gabby, Brian said he didn't have a cell phone, but then later it appeared he did. So we don't know what kind of communication he's had with the parents possibly, but I can tell you this, I'm sure that the FBI is now on top of it.
And Brian, the other question you and I both are getting is why is this case about Gabby so captivating to so many? What do you think?
I think it's because it started out as this sort of love story that was unfolding on social media where everything looked so perfect. Then we saw the body camera video, and I think that was a pivotal moment in this story because we saw that their relationship wasn't what we thought it was, and it just sort of broke down from there. And I just think it's so sad, and I don't want to lose sight because, you know, we're out here, we're watching the house all day, we're investigating, we're digging into the leads that people are sending us, but I don't want to lose sight of Gabby's parents because, you know, at the end of the day, they're the ones right now who are suffering the most. And while, you know, this is a story for a lot of people, for them, I just can't imagine. I mean, they lost their little girl.
Brian Nenton, you couldn't have said it better. Brian, thank you for your reporting. And we all do have our thoughts on why this case has captivated millions of people, especially since there are so many other people missing, other young girls and boys, women and men, people of color, Indigenous people, people with no one looking, no one paying attention. Gabby's case should serve as a wake-up call to all of us, a reminder that we owe it to each other and to each of these people to search for answers and, in many cases, seek justice. And instead of just talking about doing that, we have decided to do just that. We here at NewsNation are launching a new series, Missing in America, and we're going to focus on the stories that you aren't hearing because each missing person is a person loved, a person missed, and a family behind the scenes who wants answers. Like Gabby's family tonight, as the search for Brian Laundrie continues, whether it's in the swamp or someone else. We owe justice to that family and to Gabby, and to pay attention not just to her case, but to every case out there. We thank you for joining us for this NewsNation special report tonight, the case of Gabby Petito. That is all the time we have for tonight, but Banfield is going to pick up the story from here. Stick around. Ashley is next.